Hey everyone, today I'll be showing you guys how to cut a roller blind to size to fit your windows. It's not as easy as you think, but it is also not as hard as you think either. But even for the novice, with a little bit of patience, preparation and good practice, you'll be surrounded by beautiful blinds that haven't broken your bank balance. Number one, we all know getting proper installed blinds from a company is super expensive. Number two, buying blinds from a local retailer means you get the blinds cheaper, but not necessarily get them for the size that fits your windows frames. You can also get the blinds laser cut to your window size for around $25 a cut, which isn't too bad, but then begins to get expensive when you have your whole house to do, pretty much defeating the purpose of buying the cheaper blinds. So going back to buying your blinds way cheaper from a retailer, if they're a little too wide, no problem. Let me show you a step-by-step guide how I cut mine to the size I needed. Firstly, let's start by removing our old blinds. In my case, I'm taking down these wooden Venetian blinds. Now that the old blinds are down, it's time to measure your window frames across with a tape measure to see how much we need to cut off the new roller blinds if need be. Now, tools needed for your job will be a sharp knife, like a Stanley knife, to thinly cut your blind. A large cutting board of some sort to have your blind rest on top when cutting the blind. In my case, I had leftover plaster, so I used this with some cardboard on top of that, and it worked a treat. Some pegs, a tape measure, some tape, a ruler. I used my old Venetian blind cover, so when you cut your fabric, it is a perfect straight guide that will ensure a professional cut. A hacksaw to cut your aluminium tube. Now it's time to cut your blinds. Have your cutting board ready on the table and unpack your new roller blind. Place the blind on top of the cutting board or the plaster. Measure and mark how much you need to cut off. This is where I used tape on a few of the blinds, which was the exact width size amount I needed off. In another account, I worked out that the old Venetian blind cover was the exact width size needed for the next cut, so I used this. So, while placing the Venetian cover on top of the blind as seen, and by placing pegs to the side as seen, the pegs are used which help to lock the fabric in nice and tight. I can then begin the slicing process. Now, use your Stanley knife to cut along the marked line, or tape, or, my case, the Venetian cover. I found the cover great as it was a great guide, making slicing down the fabric more precise. Make sure to be precise, slow and steady. Once cut, check your work ensuring it is now cut straight. Work your way up the fabric using the pegs and Venetian cover till you have finished cutting the whole blind. It is now time to cut the aluminium tube to match the new width. Measure and mark where you need to cut. Again, use whatever utensils you can to guide you better on your cut. In my case, it was tape, and myself measuring the distance and placing it around the tube. Then I used a hacksaw to cut the tube. Cut the aluminium tube. Finally, reassemble the roller blind and install it in your window frame using your instructions. And there you have it, a perfectly fitted roller blind. Thanks for watching. Like to subscribe for further future videos. Thanks guys.